So it's not about the win. It's about, are we trading the low time frame, right? All the way to that point. This is going to be important when the returns get back to the mean. If you can get this price action on the top side and then start finding support, this market could easily turn around. Easily. But this was a no-brainer because I've been waiting on the weekly for this bull div to play out, right? It's been here. There's a weekly bull div on returns oscillator, log return z-score. And on a macro time frame, the log return z-score was below the 99% confidence interval. Sooner or later, that baby's going to start working out. This latest dump didn't get below the 99%, right? Just created a what? Another higher low, as we're getting lower lows on price action. Let me see what this looks like on a daily. If there's start this daily projection. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we could. Yeah, why not? And that's a pretty bullish candle right there. It is a doji, but it's pretty bullish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's change this up and see what's happening here. Where we're at projection wise. Okay. Starting to work our way up. Where's the 95.4? Up here at about 22.2. But if you guys remember, I mean, I was literally calling this number, 21.5. Here we go. We're going to go up and test the bottom of the monthly range. But like we were talking earlier on MJ, the monthly range is like $3,500. So this makes sense. We get up in here, find some stability in this big monthly range. Top side's up there at about 24.7. Or no, sorry. Is it 24.7? Yeah, 24.7. Bottom side was at 21.5. So yeah, 3,200. My bad. Considering it's a real wide volatility range, means there's not going to be a huge trend. It would make sense to me if this thing gets up in this monthly volatility range and literally does that, ranges inside of that monthly for this entire month. So we're talking about maybe up there around 24, right? 24K area. What was it again? Jesus, hold on, guys. Yeah, 24, let's just say 24.8, 24.8. And I start ranging price action for the rest of the month in there. That would look good. I would like that. And it doesn't take a brain surgeon to look at this price action and be like, something different's happening. Right? There's some buying coming in. Obviously, there's some buying coming in. We want to close today inside that monthly range. We are above it. We are above it. And SPY pretty much hit the second target, right? I mean, to the dollar. And then you got people in other Discord, they sit there and they troll you because they don't understand what you're doing. But what you're doing is literally the only way any of this should be done. That's why I lose my mind a little bit sometimes. But first target right here on SPY, bottom of the monthly range, right? Called the bottom of the monthly range. I was like 381, boom, charged right to it. Next day, I was like, next target, center of the monthly range, 385 area. Nailed it right before close, had to pull back. Opened up today with a super tight price action volatility range. My third target was the top of the monthly volatility range. Nailed it. One SD move as well. They were right on top of each other. 3 days in a row. Ding, ding, ding. Next question, as Evil Eyes would say. The other Discord.
Yeah, that next.
Next question. That's right. Next question. Him and Pate the Great are awesome. Two New York boys. They're pretty funny. They're financial guys too.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Is it raining? Yeah, it's raining. Sorry. Threw me off a little bit. So yeah, right? 3 days in a row. Ding, dink, dink. I mean, this is why I don't get what people don't understand. I mean, these targets got nailed. Got nailed every day right before close. Boop. 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 With sound effects. So, and is what I said. Yeah. This is important now. What's going to happen? Is SPY now for the rest of the month just going to range in its monthly? Is it going to dump out again? Going into the last day of the trading week, right? If SPY can close this week in on top of that monthly range, look out, man. Number one, let's see where this new, now obviously we don't have the price action for tomorrow. Say this was the end. Where's the new weekly? Right around in here, probably. All the volatilities to the top side. You have to always take that into account. Some people that are trying to figure out, right? Because we're looking at where's the center of the where's all the volatility? Well, hell, it was all to the top side. So you're trying to find like the average of it, but because it was all to the upside, it's going to push hard up. This area right here. If price action was ending and the new weekly would be right here, which is literally up into the monthly. This week got up into the monthly. Real tight. So this weekly range was literally telling everybody, wait, trend's coming. Did SPY trend? Yep, sure did. What percentage of a move from top to bottom? Not bad. About 4.5% this week so far. So that's what I want to see. I want to see close the week above this monthly. If it gets a hair up its butt and wants to do another 1 SD move and ends up closing up here around 395 or something tomorrow, that's going to pull the weekly fully, maybe almost, it might pull it above the monthly. So then you'll have the monthly or the weekly above the monthly, and the new daily is going to be up there too. And that's what you want to see volatility wise. Then the bulk of the volatility is below price action. Right? That's what I like to see. That helps with the bias that this market could be turning around. And so what are we looking for on the macro time frame, especially the weekly? Because this down move has been happening, right? It seems like 10 years now. You know how crypto is. Driving me nuts. But it's like you know how Bitcoin is. So everybody just got to be patient. We got to see how this thing's going to shake out. But with that trend changing div on the macro, this is a no-brainer that this could be a market. This could turn the market around. You know, like bull div on a 4-hour or even a daily, that could be short term. But you know, when you get some regular bull div on a weekly between returns and price action, that's saying something. That's saying something indeed. Then, let me throw this back on a weekly. Let's pull up our little friend that everybody else likes to use. Oh, boy. I want to use the relative strength of the price action. Let's see what this is happening. Now, you've got bull div on the log return z-score. You've got bull div on the returns oscillator. So, was there anybody on the macro looking at the Bitcoin charts using the RSI? Right? There's no bull div. There's none there. So those are that's why we use the returns, because there will be divergence plays on the returns oscillator way more than the RSI. You can't trust that type of divergence. You got to be real tricky. And I was waiting forever for all 4 of these fissures to turn up. Every time it's happened, we've had a nice percentage move to the top side. And this was this was just a long, drawn out move to the downside from like 50, right? Almost 50, about 48K. Yep, 48K high. Been going on for a while. Now they're starting to flip up. Need to get it. We need, especially the low length, cross up the mean of these bands first. Let's get everybody on board. The DLP, right? DLP starting to revert back. I like. Now this will be something to look at. You see the predictor change after this week's close? That's a good sign, right? That's what I'm looking for too. I'm looking for these predictor plays through entropy, going back into randomness and dropping back into trend. All these little moves. Me and MJ were talking about all this earlier, because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build, let's be real. We're trying to build a system where, hey, guys, here's the 3 indicators, 2 indicators, 1 indicator. Everybody's looking for that magic ticket, to crack this code, to see into the realm of what these algorithms are doing, in our opinion. So if we can provide that, that's just awesome. That's just awesome. But now here's what you have going on the returns oscillator. But that's why. Let's reel this in too. You see, so right now, what are we up here? 1.11. I mean, we're still on the low end. This returns oscillator can jump, can just blow these bands out of the water. But you can see what's happening right now, right? We're creating a higher high on the return oscillator. Well, there's no top here, obviously, on the weekly. But if this thing tops out on the weekly, we could very easily have some hidden bear play out and a continuation of a down move. That's why this stuff gets tricky, man. So eventually is what you're going to want to see. This returns oscillator just keep creeping to the top side, or we go sideways for a little bit and we get a nice bullish reset, a bounce off the zero mean, maybe with even more bull div. If we get a lower low, we were talking about this early in the week, like 18K, a weekly candle closed down lower. Could be even building up for more of a powerful move. But right, everybody wants to get out of this damn bear market. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, once again, markets are highly correlated. And SPY did its thing this week, literally called it. We all sat here on the stream, right, talking about it. It hit all 3 targets. Bottom of the monthly range, middle of the monthly range, top of the monthly range. Last 3 days. It's just beautiful. Boing, boing, boing. While everybody else is stirring. We're in here in alpha trading going, well, we got 3 targets. They're going to get nailed. Dink, dink, dink. Everybody's like, what the hell's going on? It's like, well, I don't know. Are you still in the short? Did you take your profit? So who knows? But as it goes macro, this is what we're waiting for. The returns to mean revert. Where does it happen? When does it happen? Do we just get a blow up, right? Mean revert up here, up above like 35, around 30, right? Down here around 25. Do we go sideways at the end of the year? And finally, the returns mean revert. It's what's good about all this. At least you know what's going on with the probabilities. Where's the reverse mean? And this should already be published. We got some last minute code updates and all kinds of stuff. So we'll get it. We'll get it. I said yesterday I was going to do right after the stream. Didn't get to it. There's other things that we need to do because we're sending these things public invite only, and they will be scrutinized. We have a lot of enemies. Everything has to be perfect or they will get pulled down for whatever reason, right? This threatens the status quo. People can think whatever they want, but this threatens the status quo. When you start to ruffle people's feathers, they don't like it, especially the people that are making money off the traditional TA scam. And here's the thing. It's like, it's not even a scam. It's just like people are just blindly following nutbags. We all have at one point or another. Wow, we got some deep thunder rolling. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Holy shit. Well, you know what they say about your home on wheels. Hopefully I'm here. Don't get sucked up. I'm in Tornadoville. Yeah, buddy. I'd rather be in an earthquake. Earthquakes are scary as shit. Been in several. Tornadoes, though? Yeah, man. If you've ever been in one, you know you don't want to fuck around with tornadoes, hurricanes. They are just dangerous. But tornadoes like got a mind of their own. They'll lock in on you. They'll chase you. So your best case scenario, just stay where you're at.
Yeah, as a kid, I used to think that the dust devils, I'm sure you've seen them, just the small ones on the farmlands. Man, I would think those things were tornadoes. And then I saw what a real like hurricane or tornado looked like, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can go stand in this one. But sometimes they get quite hectic. But no, I haven't seen one. I know it sounds crazy, but I would like to see that chaos. Right?
Yeah, I think it was
Mother Nature, full ball.
1977, 1978, something like that. I mean, hell, you could probably Google it. There was like an F4, might have been an F5 in Indianapolis. And it was on Memorial Day. And we were at the track. We used to go to the 500 all the time to the races. And freaking, we came home, our roof was gone. Ripped our roof off our house. I remember when I was a kid. Yeah, I've been in several. They're scary. They are scary. Especially if they're
Not
close.
a good day at the races, they say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big time. My dad worked there. Got an announcement over the loudspeaker that he had a phone call. Yeah, your house is gone, bud. Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
So let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do. I know I already did. So yeah, anyway, the bull div, the Fishers are all up. I want to see this weekly close. I want to see if on this macro, if this predictor flips to the top side. And if that Shannon entropy percentile it continues to expand, it flips too, because I got the predictor colors on it. We'll have to see. Or does the entropy percentile start to contract and flip at the same time? Right? So instead of using correlation, we're using this predictor model. I don't need to know if it's positively or negatively correlated. I'll tell you by what the predictor's telling me how it's correlated, right? By whether or not it's contracting, expanding, whether or not entropy is going into trend, coming into randomness. I mean, just by what the predictor is telling me, I can tell you what the correlation is of the entropy, the Shannon entropy percentile to price action. I like it a lot. So yeah, the RMLR, the upgrade to the entropy indicator, those are the two that are going to pop here real soon. Those are the two we're focusing on. Oh, I'm in the general chat. I'm not even in the stream chat. Sorry, guys. What are we doing in here? Hey! Perfect. So let's see. Let's take one. Let's see if triple Qs did the same thing. Yeah, pretty much. Triple Qs, though, got into its monthly range midday. Right about here. Earlier in the day, triple Qs. Triple Qs is literally closing daily candles above its monthly range as we speak. That could be a little foreshadow. That'd be nice. Both SPY and triple Qs did a freaking 1SD move today. That's beautiful. Let's see one more time. NASDAQ had a nasty little pump candle there. And NASDAQ and triple Qs way above, not way above, but they are above. Definitely have a possibility of closing like above this monthly range tomorrow for sure. That is what that's telling me right there, is that you'll probably see you're probably going to see SPY do the same. See here one more time, because it's below it now. Tomorrow, probably going to break up to the top side. All three of them close above their monthly ranges tomorrow. Could be a good week next week. Obviously, some of the levels will be tested. I mean, these bears aren't going to give up without a fight. That's for sure. They never do. They're scummy. All hopped up on honey. Let's see. But now we're back to BTC index. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Want to close above, right? Want to close inside the bottom of that monthly range. So that's what we're looking at. So we got traditional markets. Two of the main indexes I like to look at, right, are have already closed the daily candle above. The other one's probably going to do it tomorrow. And Bitcoin's inside its monthly range, which, Bitcoin got hammered, man. There's no doubt about it. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, next target center of the monthly range, right? 23K, 23.2, right in that area. Would definitely make sense. Another thing for BTC, had a decent weekly range. I mean, for a weekly, semi-tight, not super tight, but tight enough to have a nice trend. Obviously, it's doing that. So we're already above the weekly R1, R2. R2 is up here below the center of the monthly, 22.7. You'll definitely see price action get halted right here for a little bit. Evaluate what the hell it's going to do. And if you're looking on low time frame volatility, just like earlier, me and MJ were watching it, and I was watching the volatility. I was like, man, this has got volatility to push through that level, and it sure did, man. Zipped right through it. Let's see. But there will be some resistance right there. And then eventually coming up here and testing the center of the monthly. The way traditional's handling it, I could see this move specifically ending up here at the top of the monthly. And this is going to be an important part. And this is what's kind of, watch this, 24,765, huh? So how many, this is the end, the first week, second, third, fourth. So by the end of this month, the top of the monthly range is right about here. Right? Maybe it just waits a little extra, back test that baby or something. Because it's literally right on top, right here. 25.7 or whatever it was. It's right in this area. This bottom arrow pointing right at it. But obviously the month's going to be over here. So yeah, we'll have to see. That number is adding up. There we go. First things first, though, close the daily inside the monthly range. This is going to pull this daily range high. All the volatilities to the top side. I mean, we're talking this new daily is going to be up in this area. If we close above the inside this monthly, new daily range will be up in here. 21.4, 21.5, something like that. Might be a little lower, but I kind of doubt it. These were strong moves. Let me see. Yeah, Bitcoin's up over 5% today. 1.5, 2.1. Yeah, and that's what's great. Like all week this week, SPY is up what, 1.5? Bitcoin is up over 5% today. That's the whole week for SPY. Why we love crypto. A lot of volatility. Lots of volatility. All right. Anybody got any questions? Been thinking about anything? Let's look at the 4 hour. Now I could definitely throw it. And you got to love, that's when me and NJ were talking earlier, were we on the 15-minute? I think we were. We're just talking about outliers, talking about moves. Hey, when to take profits, things like that, right? We're trying to build just to create such a simple system. It's all about keeping it simple. At the same time, I want to cram volatility down people's throat holes, right? You got to understand it for your own sanity. So you can explain. People are going to ask questions. You need to understand volatility if you're going to trade this way. People are going to be understanding, and this is the basis. This is where you start. Even if it's not where you end up, this is where you start. Just trust me. Don't give up on learning this. Expansion, contraction, and the correlation. And at this point, we got, we have an update. I got to check here in a little bit. It's already in our private chat for the prediction model on the volatility as well. So does the prediction model take over correlation totally? Who knows? Maybe. There's always a possibility. I'll tell you what, the good thing about it, especially when we're just trying to keep things simple, if we're talking about correlation and then we're talking about this prediction model, I can teach the prediction model to a 5-year-old, right?
Okay.
Trying to teach correlation to people is
Very hard.
very hard, man. It is very, very hard. So, and that's what we're trying to simplify this. We really are. This has been this is a roadblock for this type of trading, right? That's why when I see some of the same faces in here, some of the same names, I get excited, right? Because the more you continue to tune in, the more you hang out in the Discord, the more you look at the charts, it's gonna pay off for you big time. Big time. So, but that's like kind of a blockade when it takes it's hard to learn this stuff. And especially these days, people want instant gratification. And you're just not going to get it. You got to learn the basics of this first, right?
Yeah, this is many years.
Yeah. But at the same time, that's why I always talk about the pro package. Get the pro package. Let's learn about volatility. Yeehaw. $10 a month. You kidding me? Hell, you can buy a loaf of bread for $10 now.
You lose more trading the RSI.
Dude.
Doesn't matter how big your bag is.
Yeah. Because in all reality, if somebody's a trader like, up traditional TA, all right, I want to see what you got. Oh, that looks easy. Hey, man, you want to come in? You want to spend $100 a month on our big package? Knock yourself out. All right. Come on. You don't want to dick around with volatility. You don't want to learn. Hey, man, we got stuff that's just, but I'm telling you right now, you're building a foundation on sand if you do not learn volatility. It's going to creep up and bite you on the ass at some point, even if it just makes you look like a fool because you're claiming to be doing something and you don't even know about volatility. You got to learn the volatility for sure. It's important. And here's the thing. For literally decades, volatility has been used in nothing more than trading options. That's what volatility has been used for decades. And then when some gentleman created the first volatility percentile, I started messing with it. Immediately started messing with correlation on it. Immediately started seeing something. Kept it to myself for a long time. Did not talk about it. Maybe 2 other people, right? I don't even talk to either one of them anymore. But yeah, I mean, there was 3 people in the beginning that got that indicator. Me and Christ and Crown. We were the 3 that had that before anybody had it, and we were all working together.
What?
Oh yeah. when we were
Damn, Bilbo.
in the cave. So
Shucks,
we,
man.
we started working on it. Christ went the options route, right? So, and obviously Crown, he's on his own mission. He thinks he just knows everything. So there's nothing to learn here. What could that guy possibly teach me? It's like nothing to see here either there, YouTube Jimmy. Move along.
Yeah, it's complex.
Yeah. But then when I started seeing the correlation and how volatility reacts, especially volatility falls off a cliff. Volatility falls off a cliff. When you see volatility not having a nice contraction, and it literally goes from 100% to literally what it get down to like 4%, your radar's on. You're like, here we go. We got
Yeah.
a move coming. Usually volatility is almost immediately going to fully expand again. That's just what it does. I don't know why. I don't need to know why. I've seen it way too many times not to respect it. Yeah.
You go up, you correlate it which way? Okay. Yeah. I find that a lot of okay, so just with ACP and stuff, Bank and I spent at least an hour today discussing.
Right.
You'll see, okay, so I've still got the old ACP on, or whatever. But you'll see I'm just going to say the candles, right, come and play around by the VRE level. And you'll see if that, if it opens above, let's say, if it closes above the VRE level, you'll see that, oh, that like pumped it into a dump. Because if it lifts too high, it can trigger the bots to sell, right? Even though it's going up, it can trigger the negative drift, let's just say, bots to sell. And that's what pushes the column back down in SEP. And it's all balanced around BREs, the means of all the tools we use. It's quite cool. And then all the general observation that we were able to pull out was all that it's trying to really do is line up a Pearson correlation for an expansion or a contraction from a very high phase. And yeah, that thing, obviously, with the candles jumping around, your Pearson correlation is also going to be jumping around. Because you can see where they're trying to like find the limits of the model. How far down until we can move the Pearson correlation? Okay. How far up until it can move out of this phase? Okay. And then the last 3 seconds is usually where it ends up. But yeah, it's pretty. These tools are powerful. These tools are very powerful.
Yeah, big time. Incredible. I mean, I don't know. All right. We don't go out blowing our horns everywhere. I post charts in other places every once in a while. People ask. Because for that exact reason. People look at stuff sometimes and then what they don't understand, they just mock and shit. And I'd rather not even do it. So I got
Sometimes it's not worth the fight. Yeah.
some goofy degen leverage trader trolling me. It's like, okay, man. Haven't
Just keep
blocked
your faith.
anybody in this Discord. You two are the first clowns I'm blocking. Don't have to worry about you anymore. You can talk all the shit you want. I won't see it, so I won't react.
Yeah.
It's all about how you react to things in life. Sometimes I fail miserably at it. That's okay. Doesn't take much to get some PTSD rolling. It's just like, oh no. Oh, perfect. Here we go. So on the 90-minute, right? On the recent move, you saw on this move, boom, did the same thing, went up to 99.7, pulled back, and now is up above the 95.4. So yeah, good stuff. But now on the recent last, whatever, 6 90-minute candles, again, boop, went up, tested 99.7. Now it's chilling. And this is what can go on forever. It can just go sideways for a while, then go retest the 997, go sideways for a while, boom, 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 boom. You can throw a projection back on the run up and, to 20K from $250. You'll see it time after time. How it's just riding the distribution. Then you got goofies. Yeah, it does. It does be fun. That's why I try not to be one. It's really hard sometimes. I don't know why I let people troll me online. But like people are drawing trend lines on they don't understand. They think that there's a trend line they can draw. They don't understand that all those points that are being hit, they're tapping the distribution. They're tapping one of the probability levels. And then people are throwing trend lines on them. And is what they don't understand is the probabilities associated with what they're throwing the trend line on. So, yeah, man. And they don't understand how volatility can change on the low time frames. And how, I mean, this price action, and the main thing they don't understand is that returns mean revert, and that price action follows the returns. You just tell the normal trader that, like the retail trader, and they're just like, you're nuts. People have no clue what you're even talking about, which is fine. Which is fine.
My brother, when I was young, my brother actually used to trade quite a bit. And he obviously back then he would use easy bid, whatever it was, like, just like general resources to learn about trading. And through wit, he was pretty profitable. He do it as like as a hobby to raise funds for whatever he wanted to do. Sometimes you'd lose, sometimes you'd win. But what he eventually ended up, like, he obviously spent a lot of time staring at a screen. Now I'm doing it. But what he left me with was, he was like, look, trading these graphs is like a car on the road, bouncing from the left barrier to the right barrier, to the left barrier to the right barrier. And all you're trying to do is figure out when you've crossed from the left-hand lane to the right-hand lane, or vice versa, right? Because if you're going to hit the barrier, now you know you're going to hit the barrier. And in those times, they would call them walls. So you'd want to figure out where the walls were. So if you look at mean reversion in this whole situation that I've explained now, which is about 10 years after I heard this, easy example of generally what the chart's wanting to do in something that I understood. If you look at the center line of the tar road, that is your mean reversion point. And your car is just, the charts are just bobbing and weaving across the road, hitting the barriers, being your outliers, being your VREs, cones. Obviously, if you put them all together and they all touch up, there'd be a higher probability of that barrier as well being there if the price action gets there. So that's like a general sum of how I started to look at the market. It was like, I know this thing is going to go left and right all the time. But then if you know where the center of the road is, you will know that you're at least going to hit the barrier, you've hit the barrier, or now you've bounced off the barrier. And in those three circumstances, as long as you can find where the mean is, or where statistics and probabilities meet up, that mean will be the center of your road, at least for a minute. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm just waffling here.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, obviously, on the 12 hours down move, we're just right back at the mean, the projection right now. Wonder what this bad boy from right there. 31, huh? Let's check this baby out. There's a 12-hour. All right, we're back inside the 95.4. And that was when, we're up there 31.5-ish or whatever. So obviously, right? Drop, boop, close that 12-hour candle right on top of the 95.4, opened up, little attempt to the top side, and then flushed out. Couple wicks into the 99.7, and here we are, whoop, right back up in the 95.4. We're up here, 29, almost 30K up here again. Yeah, it'd be good. Close some 12-hour candles back up in here. And this is why I love these projections. I'm just like, come on. We close a weekly candle back up inside this 95.4. I'm at that point, I'm like, all right, let's go. The returns are gonna mean revert. High, very not. They don't have to. Hell, we could drop right back down below, right? But there's a where it's all about probabilities, and that probability's high. Not only do you have a 68.3% chance to come back up here, the returns are heading for mean reversion. The price action's just following them. There's trend changing div on the weekly. If Bitcoin's going to do it, they're mean reverting off of that bull div. But like I said, it could create one more stab, right? Get another weekly candle low at about 18 or something like that. That actually create probably on the weekly another stab of bull div and a bounce off the zero mean, which usually, especially, I mean, you can look on lower time frames, it usually produces quite a damn move quick. When you get bounces off that, it's like boom. Especially when it's just bull div building over a move like this. And crying out loud. Coming off the all-time high. Coming off the all-time high. So yeah, just gonna have to I want to see this weekly close for sure. It would be great if we get so now, talking about that, right? I can get rid of this stuff. Let's reload this chart. I want to see held probability news. So yeah, we're heading to the 95 for Laplace. Nuked right through the first standard deviation. That was at 20.5, right? And as soon as we started closing, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Boom. Right here. So it was literally, as soon as we got up here above the top side of the 68.3, this is all above the 1 SD, right? On the weekly. And then boom, man, we just shot right off. Shot right off of it. Whoops. There we are. So the 95 for Laplace and the second standard deviation, which again, real tight, right? Look at the bottom side down here. A lot more spread out. Oh, wait. Yep, that's in. Yep. So we're talking about what, 22.3, 22.4 area. That was literally on the daily, a 2 SD move. And it's also 95 for Laplace, second standard deviation on the weekly. This would not surprise me at all going in the end of the day, because obviously there's buying coming in. Give a little move. We'll see though. At the same time, we've looked at some of those lower time frame projections, and yeah, this move has got us way out of the distribution. Doesn't have to come back immediately, but at some point it will. That's what's great about the distribution. The farther out it goes, right? It's just expanding. That distribution is just expanding wider and wider and wider. That's why, after a certain amount of candles or whatever, you'll know the volatility will change, right? That projection, no longer good. Like even right here, like I could start this one from down here and we've seen it outside, in, outside. Now it's pulling back in, trying to pull back in. This one outside the 99.7 pulled back in. That one outside of the 99.7 pulled back in. This is way outside the 99.7, trying to pull back in. Doesn't have to. You can start distribution here or a projection there. See, it's still out. I don't know if I did it on the 15. Probably did. I run a lot of these. Right? And that's another thing, like, just goes hand in hand with trading. It's like there's so many aspects of it. It's crazy. That's why best case scenario, you have enough monitors where you got enough monitors where you can have everything up you need. You don't have to mess around. You're switching shit up all the time. You're just looking. You're looking at monitors. Because if not, you got to be good at doing that. You got to, sometimes you're running projections, you're doing different things. And at the same time, you're trading low time frame. So you got your exchange up too, trying to get these limit orders filled, right? No fees. Hashtag no fees. That's what we like. So you got to get an exchange where they'll offer you no fees. Usually you got to stake their token. And those are the rewards. These exchanges, they're scammy. All right, here, stake our token. We'll keep all the rewards and just let you have 0 fees. Like, okay, thanks. I'll do that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, have 25 of these things.
Yeah, here's $5,000. Just keep it, and I can have 0 fees. It's like you start thinking about it, and you're like, wait a minute, am I getting fucked here?
Straight up. Am I doing $2 billion a fucking week? No, bro.
Yeah, you got to. So it's yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
My Safari jumping. Got an update or something.
There are certain ways on certain exchanges, but I think it's more individual to the exchange. Where, like we've said, you can slide orders in on like FTX, for example. You can lift it up. I hear on Bybit, you can just drag the line up. So it just depends. Some guys, if you're in the order book already,
right.
If you're in the order book already and you drag up, I think this was on FTX. So that's why I sold my FTX tokens pretty much to buy a whale, right?
That comes in handy if you're chasing a trade for a little bit, trying to get a limit order.
Yes.
You just drag it up right at the price action. You're going to get a little pullback and get filled.
Yeah. So and if you're in the book already and they say, if you're a maker or provider, whatever, you get charged 0.0. So you've limited in, let's say $3 below price, let's say Solana, $3 below price, and you see that it's moving on those cents increments that you want to scalp, you move your trade in, and then when it resets, because it's already been in the book at 0.0, the trade's also at 0.0, and you can obviously take the highest part of the spread if you're long. You can take that order for free. But now I don't know if there's certain exchanges that maybe haven't picked up on this. I'm not sure. But yeah. So there's good ways to get in, get out, but then eventually, as we all know, by the fourth trade, you feel like you're being targeted. So you know someone's at least onto you. So you got to figure something out from there. But yeah, I just sit them in the book. I drag them in or sit them in the book. When it comes to a price, I will copy and paste it in and go. That's about the best way I've been able to do it, because if I press go, it will take about 2 seconds to fill. So, or like 2 seconds for everything to happen, and then I'm in the trade if the market's just going sideways. So yeah, it can get a bit harebrainy, because if I put the order in and now the price moves, it's not going to fill me, because my order's only going to hit Binance FTX 2 seconds.
So this area I got marked out here, the top side of this distribution on the 15-minute lines up with the 95 Orla Plus on the daily perfectly. That's the little target for the end of the day. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I got to get off here. I got 87 Telegram messages. That's lovely. I'm sure somebody's bitching. Might have to tell people to, have a nice evening. That's what I'll say. P-Funk talked me off the edge. And I appreciate it. And he's already gone. I can't even thank him. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. It'll be interesting too. Pre-market's going to be juicy. Be checking it out. If you don't know, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there, be square.
Rooted.
Yep. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m.